Hi, I'm Katie O'Reilly, and welcome to Katie's Food Carnival. Land bites where the wild things are. Welcome to this carnival ride of culinary flair. When most of us think about meat, we think about beef or chicken or pork, but what about all those other game meats that we're a little too timid to explore? Well, here at Katie's Food Carnival Kitchen, I am going to take you on the culinary ride of your dreams. We're going to explore the tastes and the artfully presented culture of the land and the wild animals. Wait until you see what we discover and join me in the kitchen for a culinary wild ride. Land bites where the wild things are. So many of us out there are used to eating our simple basics of beef, chicken, and pork. And here I am to expand your culinary horizons into an arena of wild animals. I've got elk, I've got venison, I've got wild boar, and I've got rabbit. How cool. Brace yourself. I am taking you on a culinary ride of your life. You are going to love it. And the tastes are going to be extravagant, but not too far out of what you recognize. And that's important. You're going to want to eat these meats. The purveyor I purchased from is one that you can find online, which is amazing because so many of us live in an environment where we're not going to just go walk into our local grocery store and go buy it. So specialty meat and gourmet is what they're called, and they have the greatest product because it comes exactly the way you want it. So these are all sausages. I'm going to start here, and they use different farms all throughout the nation, and all of the products are really well treated as they're being raised. And the way they're treated as they're being produced, all of it is very kind to the animal and kind to our bodies. Very important. Elk. What do we have here? I've left it in its bratwurst form. So this is a brat of elk and wild rice combined. It's smoky and delicious. I have topped it with some beer, saturated caramelized onions, just because I think that's kind of fun, and a little bit of mustard, and put it in the little brat bun. And you can see it is beautiful inside, nice and lean, but it's smoky. Your palate really sings. It's a very full, rich bite that is, once again, a little bit recognizable, but kind of new too, so it intrigues your palate. And with the wild rice, it creams it out. It's delicious. Okay, so I have venison, blueberry, and merlot sausage. I have made, it could be cooked up and just used for breakfast sausage. It's delicious on its own, but you know I love to use recipes to show you different ways, the versatility of the product. So what I did is I caramelized the venison sausage into a pan, crumbled it, made my mushroom risotto nice and creamy, and right when my risotto was creaming out to a nice peak level, I stirred in that creamy venison. And I am going to take a bite and share with you. I love venison. It absorbs flavor, so that's why the blueberry and the merlot are just perfect. There's a little bit of gaminess in it, a little bit of fruitiness, little acid from that merlot wine, and then the mushrooms are earthy, but the risotto itself is creamy. And I put a touch of Parmesan cheese just for a little salt because nothing in there is too salty. So that's great. I like black pepper too. That's just me. Who doesn't love a pizza, right? This is rabbit and rattlesnake Chardonnay jalapeno sausage. I know you're thinking, who eats rattlesnake? Well, I do. This girl does. It actually, they smoke the two meats before they put it in the sausage, which brings out like almost a sweetness of the meats. Mix in the little Chardonnay, spicy jalapeno. It is a perfect sausage for your favorite flatbread or pizza. It's gourmet bite. You definitely recognize it, but it's got an Italian flair to it and that little kick and heat. It crisps up nicely. It's almost completely not greasy. I mean, rabbit is practically 97% fat-free. So we're dealing with a non-greasy sausage on every level. The rattlesnake, the rabbits are raised on a farm. The rattlesnakes are caught wild in Texas. Really cool. I think that's like super cool. So anyway, you feel like you're going on a little fantasy ride on this little pizza. It's fun and exciting and respecting the product. Love it. Okay, who does not love a stuffed mushroom? Once again, go into the love. I'm showing you things that people recognize, that your palate recognizes, incorporating products that are different and wild. Wild boar. Crumbled it up, put it right into a nice stuffed mushroom with some cheese and fresh herbs, and we have ourselves a party favorite. Throw them right in the oven, bake them off. We will be right back with these 4 meats in different ways. Stay tuned because you want to see what's coming up wild. Hi, and welcome back to the Carnival. This is where we get wild with our game meats. Okay, I showed you what the sausages were all about with our 4 varietals. Now, just to remind you, we have venison, elk, wild boar, and rabbit. So what I've got before you is some different cuts of 2 of them. I'm going to break them down into 2 and then 2. Right now I'm featuring the venison and the elk. Really similar animals, however, the meat is definitely different. Okay, venison. Let's start there. I have a gorgeous venison shoulder. When stewed down, I have mushrooms and carrots, a mirepoix, red wine, and it's been in a covered dish, baked in the oven so beautifully, so moist, it's fall apart, served with earthy mashed turnips and beautiful mashed potatoes. Just so amazing. Do you see that? Shredded, gorgeous, it's lean. The product that you get is healthy, rich in vitamins, lean, and just absolutely divine to the taste. This is recommended, highly recommended. That's the venison shoulder. Now I've got for you some ground venison chili. Now when you have ground venison, the best thing to do is work it into a sauce. You could have done sloppy joe, anything that's kind of like infused into the venison. The chili is phenomenal. All your spices go directly into it, and the best thing is that because the venison's so lean, your chili's not greasy at all. It's amazing. It pops with flavor. I have all the favorite toppings, and I'm gonna use the word earthy because this has a gamey, earthy flavor out of this venison because it's just living in the land. It's an incredibly delicious, healthy dish. That is a fabulous chili. Chips, guacamole, pico de gallo, and all your traditional chili toppings, and you have yourself an amazing wow factor for your friends if you're doing any kind of chili party. Super Bowl, think in terms of it. Get a different meat, use an alternative. It's exciting. It's exciting, that's what I would say. It's something a little different. So, super cool. All right, now here I have venison tenderloin. Incredibly unique because it's a little mysterious. I like to use all parts of the animal. This was actually cut from the leg, so it's kind of a impromptu tenderloin. It's not actually the full tenderloin. It's a loin, it's a fillet from the leg, which we sauteed up in a pan. Put a little grill mark on it first, sauteed up in a pan with spices. Then I made this gorgeous reduced blueberry sauce, which has blueberries and shallots and red wine, a little bit of mushroom, some venison stock in there to thicken it. There's none of that underline of beef that can sometimes overwhelm. This is a much more subtle, sweet flavor. And it's just incredible when cooked right. Don't overcook it, it'll get dry. It has much less fat. So those are the tricks to venison. Now moving on to elk. What do we have for elk? I'm gonna start with some unique stuff. Okay, so I've actually got elk ribeyes. How cool is that? So you have your friends over, you're grilling up elk ribeyes. Treat it just like a normal beef steak and set your plate. Gorgeous. I've got some au gratin potatoes, some beautiful asparagus, little fresh herbs. Doesn't need much else. It absorbs flavor beautifully. Because the elk is so lean, adding a little highlight of some fat and some sauces to your plate, like the hollandaise, on your asparagus, which you can also dip your meat into. So let's just say I wanted to do this. Try something other than beef. And I'm gonna remind you, Specialty Meats and Gourmet will ship this right to your door. Everything's been removed. Bones are always removed. Silver skin, if you're getting any kind of rib or anything that would have a silver skin, everything's packaged beautifully and ready for use. So you are definitely getting a product that is user-friendly. And it is in whatever size quantity you want, so it's not overwhelming. It's not like you're getting the whole animal. They take the animal, they ship it off to you. But they can absolutely give you the reference of where the animal is from, because each of these farms is very, very careful to protect their animals and treat them with absolute dignity and have them have a nice life. And that's important. That's important. Okay, where are we going from there? This is where I'm taking you. I have elk stew. Now, so beautifully presented. I have a little portion for myself out here, but we've got it all stewed down into a rich gravy with carrots, onions, potatoes, celery, and it's been just stewing for almost 3 hours. Absorbs the flavor. It's creamy. It's fall apart in your mouth. It's delectable. This is actually called elk stew meat. So go figure, I make a stew with the stew meat. Okay, now this last one is a fun, adventurous dish. Elk cube steak, pounded down into Parmesan or just Milanese. So nicely pounded. You want to soak it a little bit in buttermilk to get any kind of gaminess out of it and to break it down a little bit. And then you bread it, fry it, stick it in your oven, and you've got gorgeous elk Parmesan. Unbelievable. Carries those flavors, crisps up with the breading. That is a recommended dish that is really kind of a surprise. I even like it with a little lemon because it can brighten it up. If you've ever had anything like a chicken fried steak or anything like that, this is definitely gonna throw that one off the table and take its place, because this is a phenomenal dish. Makes your palate sing. All these are highly recommended. I've got some amazing cornbread with cream cheese, some beautiful honey butter to put on it with your chili. Set yourself up. Any of these could be highlighted for an entire meal for your family or your friends. Okay, I hope you're warming up to my Where the Wild Things Are, because we're gonna be right back with the wild boar and rabbit. I know. Be right back. Hi, and welcome back to the KDO Food Carnival Kitchen. This is a crazy, wild culinary ride where the wild things are. We are going into wild boar and rabbit. But let's start with our wild boar. Okay, wild boar. Clearly a pork product. However, many people believe that the wild boar is more similar to the way pork used to taste and is supposed to taste, because it definitely has a little bit more gamey flavor, but boy is it delicious, and it flavors up so beautifully. I am presenting some of the most gorgeous dishes for you right now. One of my all-time favorites is a tagliatelle I had received from Specialty Meats and Gourmet, some ground wild boar meat. Really great product, super great, all cleaned out, easy to work with. What I also did is added a little of my own shredded pork, so off the shoulder, braised it down, mixed it with the tagliatelle with the mushrooms and some mushroom broth and some fresh Italian cheese. This is a dish that is inspired off one of the most delicious dish I've ever had in my entire life. This is one where I was in Switzerland, right in the Swiss Alps, right on the verge of Italy, ordered a wild boar tagliatelle, and this came. It's fantastic. Now, to taste, I've got a little side dish that I plated up because this is easier for me. I've topped it and garnished it with a little fried basil. Now, sometimes when you fry an herb, it can get a little bit of grease, but it's okay because the wild boar is not fatty, and this pasta in general is not fatty. So it's pretty, and it adds green and a little bit of crispiness texture to a delicious dish. Do you see this? Oh, I'm ready for this one. Mushrooms are earthy, the richness of the broth, the saltiness and creaminess of that cheese, and then the two textures on the wild boar. I could just keep eating this. It is phenomenal. And it's actually a really easy dish to create if you're having people over, because you can make all of the items independently and then stir them together at the last minute, just on your stove. Takes no more than 10 minutes a la minute. Awesome, hot pasta. Wild boar ribs. Unbelievable. They come to you with the silver skin removed. I have to show you these because this is just an incredible product. I'm not going to pick up the whole thing because it's too much. But look at these. Look at these little cleaned bones. They're like already Frenched. They're perfect. And I have glazed them just to get a little creative with a fig barbecue sauce. So fresh figs reduced into barbecue sauce. Delicious recipe. It's got a fruitiness that glazes on there. So it's a natural sugar for those ribs. And this is dynamite. Really a treat. Now, they're fall off the bone ribs right now. So these are gonna get a little sloppy, so bear with me. Look at that. Finger looking good. A true treat because the meat is lean, it's not fatty, and with that silver skin removed and those little minute bones, it's tender and it's juicy and it's elegant. It is absolutely recommended for any barbecue. Beautifully done. I definitely did mine in the oven to keep them moist because you don't want them to dry out. If you're gonna do them on the grill, use that low heat. Low heat. Okay, now the most exciting part of the wild boar to me to work with today was the wild boar tenderloins. Now that dish right here is just an amazing dish. Do you see this? I want to hold it up and show you what's going on here because there's so much going on. A 2-potato hash. So it's a white potato and a sweet potato. A cabbage slaw that's Brussels slaw and cabbage, cooked down, crisped up, stewed. Then these tenderloins, and this is amazing. It's in a cherry reduction sauce with a little foie gras. It is rich and decadent and beautiful, but I want to hold one of these up. They're very teeny and tender and moist and delicious, and when I cut into it, it is just beautiful inside. Pork with cherries, especially because wild boar is a little bit more pork flavor. It's recognizable, but it's much more pungent than regular pork. So it's got a lot to offer your palate because you're not going to be confused, but you're going to be like really craving a second bite. It's rich. It's creamy with that foie gras, and it's cherry bursting tart. That is so phenomenal. And then sweet potatoes and white potatoes crisped up. The duo is beautiful. And then of course, the sauteed cabbage and Brussels slop. I love wild boar. What a treat. Okay, we are moving on to rabbit. Many people are not familiar with rabbit. They think it tastes just like chicken. Rabbit does not taste just like chicken. It does absorb flavor like chicken, and you could use any chicken recipe to flavor your rabbit. However, rabbit is a little bit more juicy than a chicken. It's got a slight bit of gaminess, but when you get them young, and I'm talking really young, when they're farmed appropriately and they're kind, 2 months, no more than 3 months. So these are beautiful baby rabbits. I know it sounds hard. And one of the things that people have the hardest time with eating rabbit is because they envision the little bunnies that hop in your yard. And that's true. But when you do eat it, it's delicious. So tender, delicious, all the parts. I'm showing 2 preparations. One preparation is a Peruvian spicy peanut preparation. And it's been stewed, and you break down all the parts of the rabbit and you stew it in the oven, and it's layered on 3 colors of potatoes. So sweet potatoes, white potatoes, purple potatoes, and then I've topped it with some red potatoes. And this dish is incredibly beautiful. I first had it when I was traveling in Madrid, and I fell in love with it. Believe it or not, I went to a Peruvian restaurant in Madrid and fell in love with their food. Never been to Peru, plan to go there. But this bite is one I'm definitely looking forward to. There are smaller bones in rabbit, but oh my God, salty, zesty, picante, juicy, and it's just, you want another bite. It is, I hate to keep using the word craveable, but it is definitely something that your palate wants to eat. And I want to show that to you. It's nice and lean. Fabulous. I invite you into that dish. Another stewed preparation, if you're not into peanuts because of peanut allergies or anything else, is a Catalan preparation, which is stewed tomatoes, carrots, mirepoix, red wine, all the beautiful ingredients that you'd want, just stewed beautifully. Doesn't need any accompaniments. If anything, maybe a little crusty bread just to dip up those sauces. But once again, the rabbit is tender and flaky, but it is, both of these, the wild boar and the rabbit, are white meats, which I think people forget. Wonderful and healthy, very healthy. And believe it or not, because of people's aversion to eating a lot of rabbit, it's actually really affordable. So I don't know if that helps you out any, but it is a dish that is very fun and affordable and delicious and recognizable to everybody out there. Just be careful of the bones on the whole rabbit. Now, ground rabbit. I have made a rabbit shepherd's pie that is to die for. Carrots, peas, ground rabbit, fresh herbs, some beautiful broth in there, topped with mashed potatoes, creamy mashed potatoes. I wanted to show you on my dish because I wanted to show you the layering and the colors and how gorgeous that is. Little fresh thyme in there. And it's just, it's different because there's really, you know, oftentimes shepherd's pie is made with either ground beef or ground lamb, and it's very gamey. And rabbit has none of that. So for people who are maybe a little bit more intimidated or would probably crave more of like a chicken pot pie, this is something they will love. So let's say your family wouldn't be into lamb or beef for shepherd's pie. This, they will be. Seasoned beautifully, lean, no worry about those bones because it's already ground. I strongly encourage you to go out and dive into these beautiful wild animals. Invite them into your home, get them on your table, start working with them. There's so many fun recipes out there. They infuse flavor and carry it, and your palate will be excited. It's an exciting culinary ride. Welcome to the Carnival and wild, where the wild things are, because this has been fun. But how do you end this meal? With dessert, of course, so we will be right back. Hi, and welcome back to the Carnival Kitchen. It's dessert time. Now that we've explored and adventured into the wild arena of the wild animal meats, we get to relax and enjoy dessert. And dessert should be comfortable. It should be something we absolutely get our hands on and feel like I'm at home. Yummy! Pies. Pies, cream pies. Ah, yum. Okay. These are some of my favorites, if you can't tell. Welcome in. Taste with me, please. A chocolate cream pie. Oh my God, silky, beautiful. Why don't we take a bite together, shall we? I have topped it with white chocolate and dark chocolate shavings and a little fresh Irish whipped cream. Oh, look at that. Oh, divine. Mmm. Creamy, smooth, chocolatey, but not too heavy because it's a cream pie. It's perfect after that big meal. And just when you thought you didn't have room for dessert, oh yes you do. We always have room for dessert at the Carnival. I love bananas. I love banana cream pie, especially like a really homemade one where you're utilizing the sugar from those bananas when they caramelize and you make your own cream with that banana, and it's thick. Look at that. Thick and rich and dense. And so chock full of bananas. That is fabulous. One of the tricks to a banana cream pie, don't top it with whipped cream and bananas because it won't hold. The bananas turn brown and the whipped cream wilts. So last minute on the piece, if you want to do that, that's fine. But bake enough bananas in and you don't need much of anything, just a little dollop of that cream. Mmm. That fresh, beautiful, natural banana flavor. Ripe bananas are perfect for it. Sugar blends right in with the banana, and that is creamy and decadent and perfect after our wild treats. Mmm. That doesn't take an adventurous soul. That is just straight up delicious. And to highlight it, I love coconut, so a coconut cream pie, because if I'm deciding between the two, it's like the most difficult decision for me. Do I go banana or do I go coconut? Love them both. So I'm showing them both today. Once again, thick, rich cream, toasted coconut, fresh as can be. I always have room for this. I always have room for this. Creamy, toasty, coconut sugary, naturally, and then I love a little whipped cream on there because it creams it out even better. And if you fold your toasted coconut into your cream, right after you whip it, that will add a layer of flavor that really gets coconutty. You can even fold in a little sweetened coconut milk if you want to go a little extra mile. That's beautiful. And strawberries. Fresh strawberries. This is a fresh strawberry and cream pie. They're all cream pies. That's our theme after our wild meal. And this is wonderful. The strawberries are just bursting with sugar. They are so ripe and beautiful, and a gorgeous layered cream pie. You taste that fruit. It is bursting in your mouth, tart but sweet, ripe, gorgeous color, and I always love a little cream. This has been so much fun. Thank you for coming on this amazing culinary carnival ride with me and exploring these wild animals with me. I love to explore new things with you. I love to talk about my travels and bring you with me, and I look forward to seeing you next time on KDO's Food Carnival.